It's Candace the EdgyVeg, and today I'm going to try and turn mushrooms into chicken. Now, we've taken mushrooms and turned them into steak. We have taken mushrooms and walnuts and turned them into ground beef. But today I'm going to take mushrooms and turn them into fried chicken. Now this concept isn't new. You can kind of see it everywhere. A lot of different restaurants have vegan chicken made out of mushrooms. A lot of blog posts have it. We've been doing it for years, but I wanted to see if I could take oyster mushrooms and kind of turn them into like KFC style fried chicken. And if you guys are new here, hit that subscribe button. And if you like these videos where I take something and turn it into something else, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And if you have any requests, you can leave them in the comment section down below. And a huge thank you to Oyster for sponsoring today's video. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that I am obsessed with their advanced protection cream. I put it on every night before I go to bed. They're a cruelty-free, vegan, California-made and carbon-neutral skincare company. So I'm super excited to tell you guys about their new, well, it's not new, it's reformulated. They've reformulated their hyaluronic C serum. It is fantastic for fine lines and wrinkles, super hydration. If you have dry skin like me, you live in Canada, which is super dry, and like we have all that horrible artificial heating in the winter, this is an absolute godsend. Along with this anti-aging moisture boost, it also strengthens the skin's moisture barrier and improves the skin's ability to retain essential hydration. So I like pairing it, together with my other Oyster products, with my mist, and of course, like I said, the advanced protection cream, or during the day, the atmosphere protection cream. And Oyster today wants to give all of my EdgyVeg followers 10% off their order. So you can use the code Candace10. I'll leave it in the description box down below. Just click the link there. It'll take you to the website. Definitely check out all of their products. They're absolutely gorgeous. They sit really beautifully in your bathroom if you're all about like luxury packaging. Like I am. Definitely make sure that you check them out. I'm gonna leave the code, links, everything in the description box down below. You're gonna love them. All right, so for the chicken part of it, we found some of these oyster mushroom clusters. Now you don't need clusters this big. You can also use like the small oyster mushroom clusters that you can find in your normal grocery store. But if you can get access to these are kind of perfect for that. I just wouldn't use something like a king oyster mushroom because it's just too fat. But something like this, you'll get like the nice folds that you get with mushrooms, or sorry, with like chicken, you get that like pull apart, whatever. What we're going to want to do is trim these into like typical fried chicken like pieces, and then we are going to bread them. So for our dry mixture, for the coating, we are going to use some panko breadcrumbs, some cornstarch, and some flour. And then for the spices, we have the typical KFC spice that I always use, which you can find on my blog. It's a combination of like garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, celery salt, MSG. If you don't use MSG or you have an intolerance to MSG, you can always sub that for salt. Bunch of herbs, spices, so we're going to use that in the batter. We're gonna use that in the coating, and then we're also going to make a batter. So let's start with the dry coating. All right, so we've got some flour here. I'm doing half flour, half cornstarch, because it's just better for frying. But if you don't have cornstarch, or you don't use it, or for whatever reason you can't have it, you can just use our flour, and then some panko breadcrumbs, and all of our spices. This is the amount of spice that I want when I tell people to spice their food, is that many. Season your damn food. So then just give that a little whisk until it's well combined, and you can set that aside. All right, so for the wet part of our batter, we are going to use a combination of flour, cornstarch, and water. And then for some seasoning, adding some celery salt. Now you can use an egg replacer for this. I just find that this is easier. Most people have all the ingredients for this. And a couple of years ago, I started using like cornstarch and water as like the egg replacer part for frying, and it's easier, it's cheaper, it's super easy to throw together. Now you can make this as thick and thin as you want. You can really eyeball this if you don't want a full recipe, or like you're just like, you know what, I want to bread some stuff today. You can make this. It's super easy to throw together, just eyeball it. If you want something to really be like encased in batter, make it a little bit thicker. If you're looking for more of like an egg wash, not an egg wash, but like a dredging situation that you would normally use with eggs, you can make it a bit thinner. All right, so we are going to trim some of these. We want them to be that like chicken size, if you will. So some of these will be actually the perfect size and some we will have to trim. I like to just kind of like pull them apart like this and then cut the ends off as you need to, because there's some like woody, fibrous ends that you're not going to want. So we can, you know, cut that off without cutting off the parts that hold it together. So just like chicken, there's gonna be some that are like bigger, smaller. They don't all need to be the exact same size. All right, now we can take our clusters, put them in the wet and then the dry, and then we're gonna just let them rest here on a wire cooling rack that I have set in just a pan. You'll want another wire cooling rack sitting in a pan for when we do the frying, but we'll start with this. Make sure it's thoroughly coated here, and then throw it into your breading. And I like to make sure that I'm really pressing that breading on there, because it does have all kinds of like nooks and crannies and little spots where you could miss, because it is a mushroom and not chicken. And put it on there and repeat with the rest of them. Meanwhile, you can heat up your oil. I'm going to use my mini deep fryer because I love it and it's easy. But you can also, you know, like pan fry these, like shallow fry them. So you definitely press them on, but make sure that you get rid of the excess, or else you're just going to have all of this like burning flour in your oil. And we don't want that. And you could fry them right away, but I find letting them sit on the little wire cooling rack just helps like really create a nice coating. So I don't suggest skipping it, but if you really love, you know, the way that you fry at home and it's right away, then do that. And now you can fry it in whatever frying method you'd like. All right, guys, it is that easy. You know, just cook it for 2 to 3 minutes on each side. I would say 2.5 is like perfect. And then you can serve it on its own or with your favorite dips. I've even, you know, done fried chicken with just a little bit of lime and like some cilantro. It's nice and citrusy and bright. But here I have some vegan Kewpie mayo, and I have some sambal mayo. And I'm just gonna give it a little dip. It's really the pull apart for me that gives it that like authentic chickeny experience. And then of course the crunch, you can't get over the crunch. And like I said, if you don't have clusters, oyster mushrooms, like I was able to find, and you can often find like little tiny clusters at the grocery store, so you can use those. And I mean, figuratively speaking, you could probably use any mushroom that you want. But if you really want that pull apart, that authentic experience, definitely use the oyster mushrooms. And like oyster mushrooms are so amazing for so many different meat substitutes. You can shred it up and use it kind of like a pulled pork if you wanted to. But this is like personally my preferred way to enjoy. All right. So, gotta chew. All right, so if you guys have any recipe requests, or you've seen something maybe on TikTok or an Instagram reel that you want me to try out, or anybody else's recipes that you'd like me to try out, you can leave that in the comment section down below. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye.